Hello and welcome to another episode from Watch Collective 2 podcast. My name is Ahmed Gaudat. I'm your host and one of the Watch Collective 2. And today I have a very, very, very special guest, one of my favorite influencers and watch enthusiasts, a gentleman who utilized his car to broadcast a very, very, very good watch content. Simple, informative, and it's for everyone. Either you have a huge depth of knowledge or you're just getting into watches. So today I have Tokei Ronin, aka Salem Al Mutawaa. Hi Salem, how are you?
Hey Ahmed, aka one of the watch collective dudes. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of it. I don't see myself to be that special, but I appreciate how the outlook. I'll take it in.
No, you are, and I'm extremely happy to have you today. And I think let's start with a quick brief about who's Salem Mutawaa. This is initially, so you know.
Okay, well, Salem Mutawaa is a guy who's everywhere. My profession, I'm a business consultant. My hobbies is watches, and I'm really into sports, different type sports, something that's challenging. So I'm a guy who wears technically 3 hats. I'm married, have a beautiful son called Saud, Allah yahfadha. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. If I'm going to talk about 35 years of my life, it would be longer than an hour of a podcast.
Yeah, but this is informative enough to get a flavor on the background of the big collector and the Japanese watch enthusiast.
Yep.
But let's talk a little bit about how did Tokei Ronin start and what is actually Tokei Ronin means, because...
Okay. I'm going to be very honest on how it started. So Tokei Ronin was always an idea, a dream. And again, sorry, one thing I want to tell you, I'm honored to be part of your dream because I know this podcast is your dream. Tokei Ronin was a vision, something that I've always been a watch enthusiast for years. But I never pursued it. And everyone would tell me around me, do something. I'm like, who's going to listen to me? You know, that's literally it. And then when COVID hit, a lot of complicated things happened in my life.
Yeah.
I won't say bad things because alhamdulillah, it made me a better person today. It gave birth to Tokei Ronin because as I was getting lost, I found myself through Tokei Ronin, to be very honest. Mm-hmm. And I created the account, didn't pursue it, had no followers. I had an interview with Timekeeper, which is one of the important online platforms in Kuwait. And it suddenly hit. The followers kept coming in, and I'm like, oh, I have nothing, no content. And I'm like,
yeah, I have to put content.
Exactly. And it started from there. And Tokei Ronin is from 2 words. Tokei is a watch or watchmaker in Japanese.
Okay.
Ronin is because I never liked the ideology of following hype. Pre-COVID, pre-social media, there was always a hype in watches.
Yes.
And yes, I do like some hyped watches, but it's not because they're hyped. Because
you like it.
Exactly. So Ronin is a masterless samurai. He doesn't follow anyone. And that's how the name came to be.
It has a very, very like deep, serious story behind it.
Yeah, and it Tokei Ronin at the time where it was born, or it kicked off, was the realist side of Salem Al Mutawaa, if I'll be honest, which I was proud of. It kind of saved me. No way. Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful for it, but it saved me to finding who I am and to be confident, and that there are people who want something simple, raw, and spontaneous, you know?
And it was a reason as well to have the light, informative content that you're making. I'll be frank with you. If you're doing a video on especially a Japanese watch, I'm gonna listen to it 100%. I'm gonna
Appreciate,
listen
man.
to it, and I mean, I always get something new out of it. You know.
But I did get typecast because when I came out as this Japanese watch collector, and then I started put Swiss watches, people are like, "Oh, you're too good for us now." You know, it's like they started attacking. I'm like, I said I'm a Japanese watch enthusiast, but I didn't add only. I like watches. I only love Japanese watches through Swiss watches, if I'll be honest. And by the way, in honor of today's podcast, this is the first time I wear a Swiss watch on a watch podcast, and something that matches your colors.
Yeah,
So,
I noticed, and
yeah.
I really appreciate this. And in honor of you, I actually wore my favorite Japanese watch
It's beautiful.
today. So
yeah, it's in bullhead. You
Yeah,
can't go wrong with that.
I was-
Brad Pitt wore it, so yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I was really keen on selecting this specific watch. It's special to me, and I thought it's gonna be matching the vibe of the conversation.
it's beautiful, man.
But so at the end of the day, you are branded as the SME, subject matter expert, or influencer, or you can name it multiple names, but for Japanese watches. So how did the whole Japanese thing started, not Swiss thing, for example?
So it actually started surprisingly through my mom and grandfather. My love for watches through my dad, I'll be honest. But I remember my mom was looking for a grandfather clock, you know, those that go in the house, which we were...
With the pendulum.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And we were building the house at the time. And I sat for months looking in every single store in Kuwait to find her one.
That
And
was Seiko at that moment, right? Doing this? No?
Seiko were
Yeah.
doing it, exactly. And then I found her a Seiko in a storage. Like no one asked for these anymore, you know. But I found her one.
Or new stock or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
New old stock.
Yeah.
And my mom wanted to thank me. And my mom is, if she wants to thank me, she would buy me clothes, underwear. I'll be honest with you. But this time she's like, oh, she wants to buy me a watch. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. And she told me that your grandfather, again, I idolized my dad and my grandfather. Your grandfather used to love Seiko. Her dad. So I'm like, okay. So I've always wanted a Pepsi watch. For my first Japanese watch that I remember, that's sentimental, was a Pepsi Seiko, not an SKX.
Yes.
It's one of the different iterations, made in Japan. And that's where it started from there. But if I would go even further back, that's where I appreciated Japanese watches. But if I would go further back, it's always the Casios. I won't lie to you. I used to, when my dad would sleep, steal money from his wallet to buy Casio calculators, all the Casios. I
Took it
don't
to
know.
another level.
Yes, I took it to another level. If people like steal for something, I stole for watches. يعني الله يسامحني. But it's the true story. But my love for Japanese watches came from there. Transcended with different watches, different models. And then I went into Grand Seiko because I loved an Omega Aquaterra. And there was an iteration of that was very similar. Because I don't want to abuse that watch, I bought the Grand Seiko. And the Grand Seiko was so beautiful in terms of the dial, I didn't abuse that watch. Exactly. If that's what happened.
I mean, it's Grand Seiko is one of my favorite brands. And it caught my eyes and my heart as well when the Snowflake came out, right?
I have an opinion on the Snowflake.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. It's a very psychological war between me and Grand Seiko. So what happened is Snowflake came out and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But why the hell would they put the like power reserve on the dial? That is so beautiful.
Okay.
And then I said, no, it is off. I mean, it's ruining the dial. And then came the Omi Watari one, the blue dial. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get this. Couple of months later, they issued the white dial, not the blue, baby blue one, Omi Watari as well, with the bracelet, which is like not Jubilee, but it's like a rice bracelet.
Yeah, I think I know that one.
And I think I'm getting this watch, most probably the Omi Watari, the blue one, because the blue turned out to be way more beautiful. But what are your thoughts on this watch? Because keep in mind, in the Omi Watari one, they removed the power reserve and they put it on the back.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And the back of the watch is similar now to the Credor HA2.
Yes.
Which is a beautiful watch. I mean, it is a beautiful watch, but it costs like two kidneys, maybe $50,000.
Yeah.
So this is the closest I can get to a Credor now.
I'll talk about the snowflake.
Tell me.
I used to have it. I don't like it as a watch, not because of the spring drive. I actually like the power reserve indicator. It's fun for me, you know, to see it winding. It's like petrol, you know.
But it's fine for you on the dial, not at the back.
It's fine for me on the. A lot of people don't like it, but I don't mind it. It's just a watch I never understood. I think I don't like white dials. I realized that later. Other than that, the case, I didn't understand it. It wasn't special or unique. There are other models that I felt were more special to Grand Seiko. And the size, it was 41. Or it is 41, sorry.
It is 41.
Yeah. And I didn't... It just didn't look nice on my hand. I didn't feel like it was special.
It didn't click.
Exactly. And to call it an iconic watch where they had more iconic models, like I honestly vouch for the Four Seasons, the Cherry Blossom. That watch, 62 GS case, it's like so smooth, so sleek.
Yes.
The dial literally changes from gray to pink to white.
Yes.
I don't know.
It is Four Seasons.
Exactly.
Literally.
That is a beautiful watch. I consider the white birch to be more iconic. The dial, again, the movement. I'm not an in-house person movement, but the caliber that is in it when it first came out, everyone was like, how are you getting a Patek quality movement and watch in a price of a lesser than a Rolex Submariner?
Yes.
So I do like other models. I also love the 44 GS case. I'm a quartz guy, by the way. I think it's the SBJP017. It has a star on the dial, which is plus minus 5 seconds a year.
Yeah, it's the most accurate, right? The most accurate is gonna be a Citizen.
The Citizen. I have that one. That watch with the dial, with the slimness of the case, because it's quartz, it's open case back quartz, but they got guts, you know, they got guts to do that. 44 GS case, but that case is heavily polished. If you see mine, it's like, what did you do to it? It's like been in a washing dryer.
Okay.
Like my friend has one, and he bought around the same time. Like yours,
and it looks different.
Yeah, it's like it's not worn. He's like, yeah, I take care of my watches. I'm like, no, I abuse my watches.
What do you mean by that? Yeah,
exactly. But when I love a watch and I know I'm not gonna sell it, I will do whatever with it. You know.
But in general, let me echo on the whole point of the quality. I think Grand Seiko has quality that can be compared with. I mean, it's a Rolex quality with a lower price, maybe higher. And I'll tell you, there is a YouTuber. I'm gonna send you the name for him specifically. His name is Swiss Watch Gang.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah,
I watch him. He's a cool guy.
So this guy does something extremely amazing.
The micro lens. Oh,
yes,
I saw when he was comparing the Rolex GMT to that. It was the blue dial Skyflake.
Exactly.
Yes, I saw that video.
I mean, the guy gets Rolex, a Langan on, and I mean, it's a reason to believe that the quality is exquisite. So my only issue with Grand Seiko, I love Grand Seiko again, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna show you exactly the watch that I'm putting in my Carton Chrono 24. Okay. Hopefully my wife is not gonna listen to this episode, but
hopefully none of our wives listen to what we're doing.
Most probably we're gonna edit this sport, you know. But anyway, I feel that it's 100% classical models. It's not really fulfilling all the spectrum.
Okay.
I think if they got into more sporty watches, things are gonna be different. Maybe. Do you see any model in the portfolio of Grand Seiko now that can be considered as sport watch?
Look, they're sport divers ones. I'll be honest, they're not nice. The Evolution 9, which they state is a more sporty iteration, they are. Like the Birch is a sporty watch.
Yes.
Lexua. The dial on that one.
I was forgetting about this one.
That one, the dial, like I went crazy on that one. And I have the, it's the Mist Flake. It's also Evolution 9, but it has a spring drive on the dial. I wanted to take that watch with me to Japan. But I had to sell it because to have the money to go to Japan. But that's my reserve now. I've already saved up for it, hopefully to go next year, inshallah.
Inshallah. That is not going to be the first trip, right?
I hope so. Maybe I won't come back.
But you have been to Japan before, right?
No.
Because I know it's not only about the Japanese watches. You are related somehow, or you feel related to the Japanese culture. You're into anime, right? And comics and manga and stuff, right?
It's funny how I told the Tokei Ronin saved me. Anime saved me. So I lost my brother when I was 11, and it's a hard time, you know. Especially when you're 11 and it's that age. And I started watching anime, and my favorite character was Vegeta from Dragon Ball. I don't know if you know.
I know Dragon Ball.
Yeah, for Vegeta, he's the hard-headed, tough guy, and he made me go. Yeah, his character helped me go through those tough times. So I loved anime from that. And then I got into other ones. Now my favorite's Attack on Titan. So yeah.
I'm not into anime at all. I only watched Death Note.
Oh, Death Note is a classic. Everyone watched Death Note.
Yeah, but it's good. It's really
amazing.
good.
It's really good. I love that one.
And maybe Conan, if it was on the one on Space Tune. When
yeah,
I was a kid, if you can consider this.
Yeah, that's anime. But I never watched that actually.
But in general, what Japanese watches offer you over the Swiss if you're still like in heart Japanese watch enthusiast more than being a Swiss. I'm not saying you own Swiss watches, I know, but is there anything that the Japanese bring more than the Swiss?
Different brands give me different things. Seiko is a beautiful, heavy duty, take anywhere, do anything watch. Really, a one watch you own from them is amazing. The price before, or the value proposition, was much better before compared to now. I'll talk maybe in dirhams. I guess you could have gotten a in-house automatic day-date watch Seiko 5 for around 350 dirhams,
350,
which is nothing. Now that's what a plastic Homages watch.
No, actually, Homages watch is gonna be triple.
Oh, double. Yeah, double of that.
But my take on the Japanese watch, and let me contribute. And
okay, I'm told on Seiko, but I'll tell you on the others. But I'll
just like comment on Seiko and let you comment on the others. But so I think Seiko and Citizen, both companies, I'm gonna add Citizen, they used to do good watches.
Yes.
I don't see the quality being reflected in the products they are issuing now. And I'll tell you my main problem. I stopped buying Seikos.
Okay.
Although I had like maybe 12 or something. And the last one that I bought, it was the 55th anniversary Seiko 5, the cushion case.
Yeah.
The one which was issued a while ago.
Yes.
The bracelets, they have a huge issue with the bracelets. Bracelets are horrible. I got it from the dealership, and the clasp was not aligned, and the bracelet, and I know that you're gonna tell me, okay, but the price range.
No, I agree with you. You're right.
At the same point, I started looking into Chinese brands. I found a couple of brands.
San Martin.
Oh my God.
I need to see one. I've not seen one till now.
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to stop by you and show you one. But, it's an NH movement. So it's a Seiko.
Yeah.
Bracelet is exquisite. The alignment of the bezel, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
The clicking and satisfaction coming from the clicking, nothing is wrong
All right.
And it's like, let's say it's same price range, maybe 200 dirhams more or something.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, I think they are missing on the quality. They are starting to miss on the quality. Definitely not all Seiko's ranges. I mean, Prospects is a good line. I'm talking about Seiko 5s and the more affordable pieces. So do you agree with me on this whole quality on the first tier of Seiko watches or no?
Yes. I agree with you 1,000%. That's why I said that you used to get, But I do, I stopped buying Seikos for a while. And actually, mentioning the 55th anniversary, which was actually the last one I bought, I sold it straight away. And no, actually, I bought a Seiko Alpinist and sold it straight away. There's something about the older models that they don't have in the newer models. I don't know what it is. Actually, it's not only quality, it's maybe design, or there's something different. Those older ones,
There's
feel
an
like
X factor missing.
Exactly. And I don't know what it is. Like, I'm wearing the old ones that I have. The old ones that I have for like 350 dirhams, 400, even less. Those are like prized possessions. Sometimes I care for them more than my Grand Seiko. But those watches had something different that they don't have now. Their designs were different as well. They were more daring. And I saw you once talk about this.
Yes.
They were... I felt they were more first movers. They had more control.
I agree.
And something is different now.
I agree. And let me tell you a quick story. I have a friend of mine. I got acquainted to him. His name is Abdullah bin Thalith.
Okay.
Shout out to Abdullah. Abdullah is a
crazy... Abdullah, I know him. I love this.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah, I love everyone who's here.
So
Abdullah Saeed, Abdullah, yes, I know him.
He has a collection. I don't know.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. It's a massive Seiko vintage collection.
Mashallah.
And when I go to his place, I cannot believe myself.
Yeah.
The level of innovation as well. I mean, they used to do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And the quality, you wouldn't say that this is a non-luxury watch. It is a luxury watch. It was a luxury watch. But yeah, I'm glad that we both agree on this, because that was something I'm putting inside my heart with a lot of sorrow. So, so moving from Seiko, if we move to Citizen for you.
Okay, Citizen, I love it. There was a point in time I started to really love it, but it didn't click with me either. The Citizen, I've only tried one, which is the most accurate watch. That watch I love, but it's not an everyday watch for my style. I'm more of a utilitarian type design for it. It's a bit more classy, but it's a beautiful watch.
You like tool watches more.
Yeah, I'm a tool watch guy. I'm you can see the clasp on this one, like use and abuse. So not much with Citizen. I respect the brand, love it, but I always end up selling it for some reason. The Citizen, I only tried one. I didn't try the Chrono Masters, I think. I've been wanting the washi dial ones. Maybe when I go to Japan, hopefully I can pick it up. But I didn't explore it fully yet. Grand Seiko, I always vouch for Grand Seiko, but I did a mistake before that I'm not going to repeat again. I had a huge collection of Grand Seiko. First time I came out, I was like, oh, this guy has a box of Grand Seikos.
Oh my God.
Now I end up with 5. But I took one design from each that I love. Yeah. Like, I had 2 of the 4 Seasons, 2 of the Evolution 9s, 5 of the 44 GSs. Only the dials were different, and I wouldn't wear them as much as I thought I would did. I'm a big G-Shock guy. I love G-Shock, but I like the DW6900 more than the Square. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but that watch I feel more comfortable. And I especially love the JDM, the Japanese domestic market. Yeah. And Casios. You can't go wrong with Casios, but Casios, I also feel, have the same problem that I have with Seiko as well. What you were talking about, I have the same issue with Casio with the current iterations or current design.
Casio is not G-Shocks, right? Or G-Shocks included?
No, Casio is not including G-Shock in this content.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the thing is that G-Shocks are still holding its place in my heart and in my collection. actually one of the most like watches that get
Wrist time?
most rest time with me. It's a Master of G, the carbon fiber one. I'll be sharing it with you.
Okay.
It's like a bulky watch, like
But it's comfortable.
60 grams or something. It's full carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It's it like sets itself when I land into any country. So it's and it satisfies me, you know.
Yes.
But I get your point. Some companies, they get deviated from either their identity or their quality. You know, it's a little bit painful. But I would like to touch base on something which is
Okay.
which we are not agreeing on at all.
I know what's coming. Okay, I know what's coming. But I'll tell you what's my feedback on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to hear my feedback at the beginning when I asked?
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I'm open to.
Okay.
My ears are open. Yeah.
So first, the question is, why don't you like Microbrands much?
Okay. I think it's a me thing, not a microbrand thing. Or actually, I think it's a microbrand thing. Oh, no. Okay. I was going to say that because I know they're getting sourced from China, but that's not true. Like, I know a lot of brands without saying names that I love. And there are also very big brands that a lot of things are made in China, but maybe we can't say that very
openly.
openly.
But we know it, and everybody knows it.
Yes, everyone knows it, but we can't say it for some reason. I don't know why. Or should we say it? I don't know. It's up to you. It's your call. But the thing is with microbrands, I think it's the font or the font, the texting font that annoys me, that shows it's a cheaper quality for some reason, and it's the finish. There are some microbrands that I love. I won't say no, and I still am considering to buy again. Now, I've stopped microbrands for a while. The first microbrand that I start to get back into is from or your good friend. He's a new good friend, Tayyib, from Radcliffe Watches. I've not received the watch yet, but what I've heard, that this dude is definitely a G. Like he's a genius, you know. And I'm interested to see. I do like Brew watches. I bought it's the bracelet.
Yeah, the first one with the blue, the touch of blue and touch of red on it.
No, which one was that?
There was at the very beginning, they had one which had the Louis Erard kind of vibe. Some blue, some.
No, actually, I like that one. That's the one I'm talking about. Recently, there was Idris Alba was wearing it, but the problem is with the bracelet that it used to pull the hair. It's like a Casio. There are a few brands that I do like. I like brands that are getting resurfaced. I don't know if they're considered micro brands or no. Doxa, Nevada, I don't think they are.
No, not micro. They're gonna be independent, but not micro.
I don't know. But I'm interested to hear your insights on micro brands.
So I'll be really quick because tonight is all about you, not
me.
It's
okay. No, we're discussing. It's all good, man.
So why I love micro brands?
Okay.
First thing, they are bold. They're extremely bold.
All right.
First thing, the targeted market for a micro brand, you always target enthusiasts. Nobody, I mean, if you have like a friend of yours who want to buy a watch, he's not going to buy a micro brand. You know, he's going to go buy a Tissot if it's on an affordable side. He's going to go buy a Rolex if he can afford it. But nobody's going to buy a micro brand who's not into watches.
Okay.
So at the time being, and I agree with you that a couple of years ago, all what you have said was true. So what happens now is they do bold things, new ideas. They what I'm seeing at the time being, the quality is extremely good, and they are not restricted in design or innovation or a certain brand having a certain direction. I mean, you cannot do in an Omega, you cannot do a wandering hour overnight. I mean, it's a company. It has hierarchy. It has design, chief designers, and it has like managers need to sign up. So this is what makes Microbrands for me enjoyable, because it's different. Mostly the quality is good. And keep in mind that, I mean, maybe 10% of what you see survive. Other than this, you do one model, two models, and unfortunately they die out.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, there was a trend of microbrands who are not offering anything. And this is exactly what you're talking about. It was the time in which anybody does a watch, a dial, hands, and tries to sell it on Kickstarter.
Yes.
That was bad. That was really bad.
I think that's the time you're saying, I agree with you. Now they've become more bold, more unique, and more, maybe that's what they're doing other than what Seiko's not doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe. But maybe when I used to have a lot of microbrands. Yeah, Ahmed, I used to have around, at least as microbrands, 150. But they were all from Laurier, from Baltic, from a lot of watches. But I realized that they were homages to something that I really wanted. And then I realized if I saved up those 150 watches
I could have gotten the real one.
I could have gotten 10 of the other real ones, you know? I thought, I felt like they dragged me down from getting what I really wanted, number one. And at the time, they weren't as bold. But I do agree with you. Right now, what they're doing there is much more bolder, much more unique. And I think so. I'm coming back. That's what I'm saying. Radcliffe is the first one that made me come back. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah,
from there.
I'll recommend a couple of companies that I personally like.
Okay.
You might look into as well. So I don't know if you know Ferrer or not, but Ferrer is not really a micro. It is a micro. But
I still have Ferrer. I have two, and I still those I never sold. I do love them. I love them from before. I didn't buy newer ones. So they recently put a Arabic numeral dial.
Yeah.
But I've become more picky. I'm like, if you want to do Arabic, do everything Arabic. Don't do the date wheel.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not understanding anymore. Either do it fully Arabic. Yes. Or do it fully English. Don't do half-half.
Exactly.
Don't go halfway.
They had two issues. One was cushion case.
Okay.
And that was fully Arabic because there was no bezel.
Yes.
And it was great, but I didn't feel it much. And this is why few Arabic editions. One was Nevada with perpetual. I don't know if you have seen it. It was. I'll show it.
I've seen it. The Chronomaster.
The Chronomaster green one, it was all Arabic, and it is one of the most beautiful Arabic versions. But this is one of a kind. Other than this, you're gonna find Baltic, you're gonna find Underdog, any of these companies, the microbrands that are doing an Arabic, even the date. I mean, and that was one of the problems with me getting the Arabic day.
Okay.
Seiko 5, and there is no Arabic date. No, I mean, it makes me feel like something is wrong.
Yes.
Or getting the leftovers of the date wheel and day wheel.
Yes. And just putting them back on. We have this.
It was in stock, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the whole story around the microbrands. And this moves us to another point that I would like to get your point on.
Okay.
What do you think of homages? It's a very simple question, but it has a lot of...
I like them. I like them, but if it's done right. If it's a homage that is done... Look, everyone says, homages are cheaper brands. That's not true, okay? Even higher end brands, they homage each other.
Yes.
But they don't make it so...
obvious.
For some enthusiasts, yes, it is. They make fun of it. But I don't find anything wrong from replicating something that's nice, but making it a bit your own. And but I'm cool with homages. But I wasn't cool with microbrand homages because the quality was way less, and it's just trying to get cash out. It's a cash grab, you know.
Yes, and you mentioned Baltic and Sam Morton previously. They used to not homage; it was a replica.
Yeah,
it was not homage. It was like 100%,
exactly,
except the name, maybe.
But I'll tell you that there is a homage called Drevrill Tribeca. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Okay, they did a really good homage, and the prices went crazy. But they did a 1-to-1 iteration of the Paul Newman Daytona. That I respect. At least they did it right at a really good quality. Even the movement, it was a really good movement at a much lesser price and somewhat more attainable. Not anymore. But I'm good with homages, and homages. They can also be unique in some sort of way. For example, CWC. Okay, it's a homage of a Omega. I don't know what, but it's an older iteration of a Seamaster.
Yeah. No.
But I love that watch, and it's of good quality.
You're talking about the full black one or the cushion case small one, which.
No, the divers one, the divers iteration.
Yeah.
The cushion case is more of a Hamilton. Yes,
100%.
I actually like the look of the Hamilton more, but I respect the quality of CWC more. From my point of view, some people may argue that.
But I agree with you. But the anti-reflection on CWC is better than Hamilton. Hamilton has a very bad.
Yeah, but the look, like the colors, the bluish, I think Hamilton got it a bit more right. But those are really good to have it due to, and they're homages as well. And Omega is a homage of a lot of models from Rolex. Let's be honest, but we do love Omega. But a lot of some other watches is amazing. And a lot of watches like the Pro Prof. I love the Pro Prof, but everyone's like it's ugly. So people actually and Tudor, we love Tudor, right? One may argue, yes, it is a homage of Rolex. So what?
The heritage.
But for me, I'm like, they are now what Rolex used to be and what I loved about Rolex.
Yes.
And I love that version of Rolex. You know, like the neo vintage, late 1990s, early 2000s, before they did the maxi case and all. I love the Ratley bracelet. Tudor is an upgrade on that, but and Tudor is a homage. But so what? Again, I love it, and it has a cult now. Go.
Okay, so moving from the homage topic, and again, I'm not really a fan of homage, but I understand your point, and I like it. I mean, if a homage is an inspiration, not a copycatting or replicating directly, I like homage when it can be inspired, but it's not gonna be mixed up with the real one. You know, you get my point.
I'm okay with that. The Jevrel is an example that literally is in not agreement to this, but you know Maurice Lacroix, right? They have the Acon. Yes. I love that model. Honestly, I love that model. The build quality on that. I love an AP. I love an AP Royal Oak. There was a time I wanted to buy it. I wanted to sell out all my watches to get an AP Royal Oak. But now, at this current stage in my life, I cannot justify the price of an AP. And the Maurice is, for me, it satisfies me more.
Okay.
To an extent. Because I got a Nevada F77, which is very reminiscent of a vintage AP. But that is a really beautiful. It actually scratched that itch for now, hopefully. But I don't know. I have not justified certain prices of watches at a certain price point.
And I agree with you. At some point in time, even if I can afford the watch, I don't like paying a crazy premium over a retail price. I'm not gonna enjoy it. Let's I mean, from my own perspective, you know,
even retail sometimes it just doesn't justify for me.
Exactly.
You know, it's like I can get. Sometimes there are literally things better, but you just need to be your own. Because going for, I don't want to sound cliche, but going for an AP, Royal Oak, or chronograph, whatever, and paying that price, yes, it has that certain satisfaction. But I guarantee you, if it doesn't stop there. Yes. You will still feel not sad. You will actually be going backwards in some sort of way, you know? So I feel that's me, but maybe it's the opposite for some.
Yes, I see myself feeling the same, you know?
Yeah.
But again, some watches, it satisfies the feel, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. I'm gonna be moving forward to your collab with West End.
Okay.
I have a lot of things as well to discuss about this. But my first question is, how come you didn't collab with a Japanese brand?
I want to. I'm dying to, but it's much more harder, to be honest. But I have ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I have like, if where I want this to go, I just want to be a watch. I wouldn't say designer, but I want to bring back things that people, they don't focus on or look at for some reason. Like there's a lot of models that I feel they're so beautiful and they can come back and they should come back. But if it's done right, the Rolex Steve McQueen. I love this watch.
We were talking about this.
Exactly. But if it's done in a certain package or way, that it will be a homage, of course, but something that reminiscent, that feeling of vintage or whatever, that's the things that I would like to bring back. Like Patek Philippe ellipse. Okay, I'm not a Patek guy, just so you know, but the ellipse is the one that I die for. You know, it has that classiness, sport. Yeah, those are watches that I would love to bring back, but with my own touch. And the one with West End, West End is very dear to my heart for a lot of reasons. And I was actually honored to do it with West End. But what I wanted was something different, something simple. I have no problem with Arabic numerals, Arabic dials, but as we just spoke, I want it to be done right. Everything to be in Arabic. And I wanted something to be like literally as simple and classic, but it has that touch. You know, it just has the enough touch that will make it special and unique. And I wanted to be the first to put a limited edition in the market cheaper than a normal edition. Because it's always the opposite.
Yes.
It's limited edition. Okay, I have to raise the price. I have to put the premium. And I wanted to do it for a right cost. But it was really rewarding. The whole process, I can't really talk about, but the whole process was really strenuous. There were days I was like, it's not the Hulk. I just wanted to go crazy, but alhamdulillah, it pulled through. And it was a blessing.
Again, it was a homage of Day Date.
Yes.
I told you I'm not a fan, but I loved the watch.
Yeah,
I've done it with the right amount of every single thing. I mean, according to my taste, at least.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Really, that's my genuine opinion. So, first thing, who doesn't love a Day Date?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was a homage, which you're not gonna be mixing it up with. I mean, according to my standards, you're not gonna be mixing it up with a Day Date. So,
yeah,
the dark dial. When you announced about the watch and you said it's a homage of a Day Date, I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah. I would get that, but I wanted actually I want to do a homage of something that was not popular, because everyone wants a homage of a Submariner GMT. Well, I'm like, no, I want something that people actually get. It's very difficult to afford or find as well.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Thank you, Mama. I appreciate it.
Seriously, the dial color was a key, you know?
Yeah.
Second thing, which I know you designed it, as well as West End, they do it well.
Yeah.
The Arabic calligraphy, or I mean, the way they write Arabic. Because I'll tell you, some companies, and I can mention couple, they design watches, they put the Arabic words with fonts from Microsoft Word or something, you know. And the last one I've seen, it was a Ming, World Time and Ming. I've seen it in Dubai Watch Week. Yeah. And look, it's a World Timer, a lot of Arabic letters. You know? Look at it. It's like a kid printed it from Microsoft Word. There is no, it's not the Arabic that we are used to look at, you know. So as a package, it was great. And also the secondary market, I mean, price skyrocketed.
It went crazy in UAE. Like, I won't lie to you, the people were talking to me, and I think in auctions, it's reached around 9,000 dirhams. and it's like
I've seen it I've seen it go for 9,800.
mashallah. Like honestly, I want to be humble about it because the original retail was around I don't know how much in dirhams, 215 KD. So what, 2,500 dirhams?
Yeah.
Okay. I myself, I'm telling the people it's not worth that much. Yeah, it's my watch, but it's not worth that much. But if the market says so, I can't control the market, especially that it came at a time where the market was really going down. It's a recession, and that watch is going up. I'm like, okay, Michelle, then I did something right. And I was really nervous. Ahmed, you don't know how I sat for 2-3 months begging people, please buy it. The orders are coming in. I reached this much and whatever. And I had like to do it at a certain date or it would be too late.
Yes.
Because had holidays and whatever. Alhamdulillah, it pulled through. And people, and what was the most humbling and the most rewarding part, people trusted me without actually knowing the brand and fully seeing the watch.
But West End is I don't know. I think in the Middle East, West End is extremely known in comparison with the rest of the world, right?
But I didn't announce it for reasons that I can't be disclosed. But people could think it's any other brand, you know. But there were at least 100 people that trusted that, and after that, and when it came out, mashallah, people went crazy. Like I now have maybe a waiting list of people. If I would do a second iteration,
it's gonna be sold out.
Yeah, it's like enough for like 2 batches. I'm like, okay, mashallah, then something came right, and I didn't see the watch. It was all renders. And you're talking about the font. I did focus. I wanted that font. It was a different font that has been done ever before. It just gave it a bit more classy Arabic, you know. It's like it came from an Arabic country. It didn't come from anywhere else. It didn't come from
online as well.
Exactly. And alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. It was a milestone. Yeah, I don't mind to just stop here and say, okay, I just put my fingerprint in something that worked. I don't want to squeeze it as well. Mm-hmm. I have a lot. When this came out, there were already 3-4 in my pipeline and my idea. But till now, I'm very adamant on a specific way, type, brand, whatever. But I would love to do with it. If you have contacts with Japanese brand, let me know. Like, well,
yeah, I mean, after this, mashallah, let's touch wood. A great success with West End, I think.
Inshallah, I hope so.
Yeah,
it's not that easy. Actually, I thought it would be the opposite, that people have, but there are certain brands that I've tried to do, still like they closed the door at me. As if I started from day one. And a lot of people closed the door. They made fun of me. They're like, what does this guy know? You know? And it's not to show them, oh, I did it. But alhamdulillah, with good intentions.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
And proudly, I would say, the profits that came to me, they all went for a good cause, for our, brotherhood in Palestine. And now it's actually the money went for building shelters.
MashaAllah.
So it wasn't about the money. It was about achieving the dream and moving it forward to build other dreams for other people or saving other people. So everyone who contributed, it's moving forward.
Yeah. He contributed in whatever, like.
Yeah, in hindsight.
Yeah, and I was actually wanted to touch base on this. I mean, I really loved the whole, like, the full profit is going for the Palestinian case.
Thank you.
It's some people talk about a watch with a story, but this is a watch with a case. It's you get what I mean. It's not it didn't go to the moon, but it's helping our fellow Palestinians move forward. You get me? So it has a heavy backstory.
Exactly. That was always the idea. It was always going to go for a noble cause. But honestly, originally, I was going to build a well in a poor country and name it the well of Tokei Ronin, you know? But then with what happened last year, how could you not to? You know, you just... but I didn't want to just donate it or I wanted it to be a game changer to them. as how it was a game changer to me. And I think, alhamdulillah, that is why it came to light, you know. By the way, people here and all the people in UAE saw the watch before I even saw mine.
How come?
I just saw the renders and then they were shipped. Okay. I think the base was here first.
Yes.
Suddenly I'm getting all these pictures. I'm like, oh, they got. I'm like, okay, I don't want to see. And I had to sit for 2 weeks. People kept reposting. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't see the watch because I didn't see mine. I wanted to get my aha moment. Until this day, I've not worn the watch.
Why?
I don't know. It's the one watch that is. It means so much to me that I've not been able to wear it. I want to wear it soon, hopefully. But I feel like it's that watch that if I wear it, I won't take it off. I feel that's my fear.
Until the next project. So
this project will always be the first is always different.
And I know how stressful it is. I have a lot of designs on this tablet even that I scratched, and a lot of crazy things, a lot of vintage inspired things. But it takes a lot of guts to take this project.
A lot of risk. Yes. A lot of trust in people you're not sure you can trust or no. And how are you going to go? What's the dates? Yes. Don't be late. And
also it's not about selling the pieces that you're gonna make. It's about that there might be a chance of 1% the people that bought my watch are gonna get disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's only me what I'm thinking.
No, I agree with you. It's like, already people didn't trust you before to design it, and if it's a disappointment, it will be disappointed to oneself in some sort of way. But again, the more you think out about it, more simplistic you make it. I feel like it's again, it's a homage. Nothing. I didn't create a new design, but it's just your touch could actually be. It's how Tokei Ronin started, because I was this guy in the car who barely knew that well of Arabic and just talking randomly, and it works. So somehow it works. Different works, especially as you go further in the journey. The more different you are. No, actually, not more different. The more that you are true to yourself. I know it sounds very...
No, but it's the truth.
But the more true to yourself and you're true to people, the receptiveness is much higher than you would think. So,
I totally see that as well. But I think we're running out of time, but I have a lot of questions. Definitely this episode is going to have a second part.
Cool.
And another part in which I'll invite you as a collector. Most probably it's going to be in Kuwait. Inshallah. But what's next for Tokei Ronin now?
What's next for Tokei Ronin? Again, Tokei Ronin. Ahmed, I want to make it something good, something happy for everyone. And it's very hard, by the way. I've always, I don't want to sound like I'm the good guy or whatever, but there's something more that you feel when you give back, because you already spend so much on watches. There's a bit of sense of guilt, but I want to keep making more projects, more of my editions, and more charities. Like I want to actually do like a Tokei Ronin charity or something like that, you know? It's always been my dream. Actually go and do the charity. I've never went and done charity work, you know? If that would be good as a collab with other watch brands that I love, respect, and so on. That is the main thing. Look, Tokei Ronin has a lot of hats itself. It's not only just talking watches, it's selling watches, but as a
you as well dedicate part of the profit of selling watches to the cause.
Recently, before I used to do one-off projects like Ramadan. I would like buy like 100 Casios and give it to the poor people or the janitors who would clean. It's different with some money, of course. They would always love money. And then it was like for a story of a woman who caretaked her kid and she barely had any money and she has a gift. There was always projects related to giving back. But I'm a greedy guy and I want to make it at a bigger pitch. Not only because technically, if you think about it, it's like, oh, okay, we're buying your watch, so technically you're using our money. There is also a part of my contribution, but I don't have to say everything that, okay, I'm like, it's good to know that your contribution is there. Again, also in the selling retrospect, selling at affordable prices that people feel happy buying the product. And they feel happy receiving it.
Yeah.
This is not very popular lately. It's always the opposite. It's buying extra expensive because it's more so after, but I like to divert always into a different way. Continue like talking watches all the time. I don't think I should change my setup. I think my setup makes me. I once tried to do it. I'm like, it's not me.
I like the car.
Yeah, I like the car.
See the car, man. I'm gonna take a flight to Kuwait just to cruise in this car.
Yeah, of course.
It means a lot to your followers, and it means a lot to me. I mean, the guy in the car.
That is my dream car, actually. My holy grail car is the FJ Cruiser. I was supposed to get like 10 years back, and then when I was having my kid, around 10 years, it wasn't a suitable car. And then he grew up, alhamdulillah. And then I got this car, you know. It's my great car, actually. I don't want to sell it. I don't want.
No. The car is lovely, but it's a signature. I mean, you in the car. I don't know how do you even fix the phone on the dashboard, but I mean,
it's that magnet thing on the AC and just keep it there. I just update it by putting a speaker. That's the only thing.
I think for the light content that you're doing, it is beautiful the way it is. I mean, I'm a fan. I like it.
I thought of changing it, upgrading it, but I'm like, it's me.
I mean,
you know, doing it in the studio, it's not.
Maybe if it's an interview, you have done once an interview with a big Casio collector, if I recall correctly, in Kuwait. A big Casio G-Shocks collector in Kuwait. That was a different setup, right?
No, that was in my old office and it was really bad. The sound, no, that I need to update. I did it with my dad in his office. But my dad is not a Casio collector. He's a Rolly guy. he likes to roll the Rollies.
But I'm gonna watch this. But anyway, I'm really happy that what you're doing is watch related and good cause related.
Thank you.
I don't know if I didn't see something like this previously. I maybe only watch auction or something, but we're talking about
millions. Yeah, that's why. Hopefully, we have that amount.
But we're talking about something genuine coming from one person, not corporates, not big guys. So I really can't wait to see the evolution of your success. I'm gonna be extremely happy to see this, inshallah. And I mean, Salim, I have a lot of questions, so there must be a part 2.
I think there's going to be a part 3 as well. If it's the collection part, we're going to talk part 2, part 3. I'm good, man. Whatever you want.
Definitely. It was extremely enjoyable with a lot of different views.
Thank you, man.
Really good conversation. Thank you so much for joining.
It's my honor. Thank you. By the way, before we leave, since to commemorate, this is something small. You want to open it on camera?
Yeah,
off camera?
I can definitely.
But I wrote you a little note. But that's
definitely. Thank you so much. Oh my god.
So you have like I didn't know that you had mugs, but it's a different mug.
It's a Tokei Ronin mug.
Yes, he's also a tutor collector. I found out later about. I knew he talked about Seiko with Tayyip.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, he has a big Seiko.
I love it.
It's
I love
heavy
it.
duty one for camping, whatever.
That's great. No, I'm gonna keep it in the studio. This is coming with
Okay,
me
in the
on
studio. Okay,
next
خلاص.
episodes. I'm gonna cherish this. But
عليك بالعافية.
thank you so much, Salem.
It's my honor. I am thankful for you for this opportunity and on short notice. And
Yeah, but as we mentioned, like collectors always find their way to have a good, warm conversation.
Yes, yes.
And that one was
we broke the ice like before we even met. So it's
exactly. So again, thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to having this once again.
Yes, inshallah.
And for those who are watching us, thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure. And this episode is going to be available on YouTube, in addition to all the podcast platforms. Until next time, and another podcast with another enthusiast. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.